Hey, alright, 1 second. I'm gonna put us on a game and I'll be right back. Alright. Let's do it. And we're good to go. Hello, my chess friends. Onward and upward. Yes. Okay, let's take a look. Let's calculate, calculate, calculate. See, bishop takes e3. How about rook takes f4? Rook takes f3. Bishop takes d4. There's gotta be something I'm missing here. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I thought about that when that was put in there. That song. Let's see, check. Can go over. Oh, drat, I should have used the pin. Okay. There's the pin there. Good find there, Play the Grub. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Let's see here. Boy, 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 boy. Do 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 do. I'm thinking potentially bishop f4 in just in case if he plays rook b8, we'll have knight d6, and if c takes d6, bishop takes d6, check, king moves, and then we play bishop takes b8. What am I missing? Oh. I want to check that one out. Oh, he can move it, attack that. Okay. And then if he moves here, okay. Gotcha. see, rook b8, rook takes b8, rook takes. There we go. Gotta look past the situation. That's right. Then what do you do from there? That's what you have to figure out. Get a drink of water. Yeah. Thinking about pawn push. D4. I'll show you the line I was talking about. That's the line. Let's see here. What can we do? What can we do? I was trying to figure out if I can't go G6 to blunt this bishop out of here, but then I forgot that he has right here as well. Well, we could play here. Oh, nice. That would work. G6. H takes G6. And now we play B5. If king takes B5, then E7 is an unstoppable queen. Oh, snap. Drat. So close. I had the right idea. Ah. Snap, crackle, and pop. That's not fun. So rook takes f5. If e takes f5, Okay, darn it, I was right on with the rook. Drat, I should have went with my gut on that one. Should've. So if we go e2, he'll come up here to down there. So e2, rook c1. Boy, this is a winning endgame, I know that for sure. So h4. There. Check, and there's no way to stop. We'll take a quick break real quick and just take a look at that. Nice. Let me check something out. Just want to make sure the stream's doing good. Good. Yeah, I would have played that. Ooh, ouch. He has to play bishop. They also have to play there. He could play down. Wow, nice lockdown. And maybe come around here. Trying to go for a break. Very interesting setup, to say the least. he's threatening to win this pawn here. I think it's almost lost now for black. Black's lost at this point. I think that one move was a mistake. This move right here was a complete mistake. I think he should have actually potentially tried to develop the knight here and have went after the knight that way, or the bishop that way. And then if we move back, so I think he should have played here, and then if he moves back there, there, then you can actually take here. Yes, you're weakening here, but you're not going to lose. Push the pawn. Push the pawn. Still going to be a little hard to convert this, but I think he has the potential of rook here and get this pawn going down the board. He's got to move his rook over and get his pawn rolling after the takes, of course. Push the pawn. Ooh. You can sack the rook, go here. He takes there. You take. How do you stop queening? So this is this move right here. This is this, in my opinion, mistake. Again, this was a mistake. Let's turn the board. Actually, we'll watch it from white side of the board. But man, I gotta tell you, this move, I don't like this. I don't like that move. I think that was a mistake. This move was a mistake. Why did he do that? Just push. You should have just pushed the pawn. Man, that wins. And if he retreats back, you grab that. So you picked up a whole piece in that line. That, I don't know what that player was thinking. Yeah, it's game over almost now. Yeah, self-service is going to win. Black had a chance to win with the pawn push, but it's over now. That'll queen, and they'll be able to convert the victory. The pieces are way too active for black, for white. I mean, bring the check. Yep. I'll show you where he blundered. This move right here is winning. This move wins on the spot. Let's see what the engine says. And what about this move here? Oh, still hangs the rook. Okay, my bad. That I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I I forgot that he could actually sacrifice itself. That's my fault. So black was right by doing it that way. Let's see. Is there any other? Oh, that. Oh, nice. This is an interesting move. Wow. Hmm. Ah, so close to a draw. That hurts. Been there. So, I was wrong about that one. Sorry, guys. You gotta sometimes you have to admit when you've calculated wrong so that you can improve. So I calculated wrong there, but we found out why, and now we're improving. I'm gonna play. What do you guys think? Queen f5. That goes after the g5 pawn. Okay, but what do you think, Fox? Queen f5, then we'll do that one in just a second. Queen f5. So that we can infiltrate in Queen f5 into b1, and we're also attacking g5. What do you think? Queen f5. What do you think? That's a drawback. All right. So let's see here. Okay, they're there. Takes. Takes. Nice. We want to get max effort for our thing. There we go. So now if takes, we can take back with our bishop. Makes sense why this is played. Cements everything. But I gotta say that Leela the engine has a pretty good bind in the center. So B4. So yeah, this makes sense going after here and there. Yeah, because if he played something like this, we'd pick up a pawn with a pretty tremendous attack. That's why he retreated. Now we're seeing if we can get the bishop here, even though it's slightly closed, we can play after we get the pair here and there. Let's say it's our turn here. We can play b6 and then fianchetto this whole entire line here. Take over this whole entire line, our diagonal. That's why the other engine won't allow that to happen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If something like okay here, and then let's say it takes back. We have here, and let's say okay, I'm gonna push up here. We're just gonna do some moves. See, look at this. Look at that monster of a bishop. All of a sudden, it just turned into the king of the board almost. So that's why the engine played bishop e2. g3. I see, and then knight G6 or C6, because there's no reason for it to be over here now. Bishop F1 to guard here, because potentially there could be a attack. Also, this frees up a F1 move, frees up the E2 square for the knight to retreat back to, so that more pieces can start flowing in. And also it allows, after this and here, it would help us to get our queen potentially safer. G5 though is really strong. This we're starting to steamroll the white side of the board, because if you notice, we have all of our development and white only has 2 pieces developed. Well, I guess you could say 4, because this here and that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5, so we're 1 developmental ahead. Bishop D2. Now G3. Now what we're going to try to do is see if we can't get our pieces of flowing now. There we go. Everything's starting to flow in. A5 is a killer move. This would be really helpful, because what would happen then after here, we have F4, and we can, let's say that he played this move here, we could actually get a bind on the position on the queen side, because he wanted to. The reason he played A3 was to play B4, but because he played A3, we played A4, and A4 locked the queen side down, which stops any of white's counterplay on the queen side. And now we can start and we have a bind in the center, so we can start our wing attacks. A5, knight, A3, there's a weakness here. F4, and then wham, F3. Wow. G3 is forced. Bishop. Now we have almost all of our pieces fully developed. We want to, if we can, trade off this knight. I'll show you. If something like this, we wouldn't mind trading off the knight, even if he took with the rook, because we then have the potential H5, H4 a kind of strangle on the position. One second. I felt like I had to sneeze there for a second. Hold on. Sometimes my eyes, when I get that, you feel like you gotta sneeze, but then you can't. Then your eyes go, So just hold on for a second. Okay. Hold on. Let me get a drink of water. One second. I'll get my thoughts back. Much better. Okay. Back in the fray. Okay. So that's why we would want to get rid of this knight, so that we can start our onslaught attack going right up the board. That's why I played H3, was actually to stop G4, G5, H5, and then crunch. But that just made a weakness. And where he let us do exactly what we wanted. We wanted to get rid of the knight. This is a closed game. Now this is very scary. I want to show you something. Let's just say he did this, right? And then it took. You gotta love this. I couldn't help it. I had to force checkmate. That was just so much fun to go after. To pound right on through. Now this move is plausible. G4. see here. That works too. Now I think this does work. So I was trying to figure out if there's any way for black to hold, and I don't believe so. I'm sorry, white, not black. I don't believe there's any way for white to hold. That's what I mean, not black. Because black's the one that's crushing c4 in the position, of course. Not the player, but the position. d4, c takes d4, e takes d4. Okay. Very similar position. Yeah. Now we so we don't ruin our pawn structure, we did that. We can always play excuse me. 1 second. Sorry. A little water there. We could always play knight here to attack this bishop. h3, h6, f5. Well, of course, the if a person was like, oh, I'm just gonna player was just, oh, I'm just gonna prepare here, and go, oh, look, I'm just gonna prepare there. Uh-oh. Sorry, my friend, you have just trapped your bishop. This potentially could actually happen too, with not being watched. Yep, that too. It does trap that, so that's not a problem. There we go. Now we got the two. We have an imbalance. If you guys have read Jeremy Silman's Reassess Your Chess, we have a huge imbalance right now. We have the two bishops versus the two knights. So, of course, I'm going to propose a question to you, my chess friends, so that you can also comment with us on this. What do you do if you have two bishops? I'm going to give you a true or false. Do you keep the position closed if you have two bishops, or do you keep the do you open up the position if you're the one with the two bishops? Do you open the position or do you close the position if you have two bishops? Exactly. Now we're looking at it from White's perspective, from Black's perspective. Now let's look at it from White's perspective. White has the two knights. What would you want to do in that position? Close it or open it if you have the two knights? There we go. Perfect. You got it. That's right. That's the whole thing. So that's why White's going to try to not, if he doesn't have to, or if it does come to an endgame, the only way that you can neutralize a bishop is to keep, let's say all these pawns on this side were destroyed. We'll say that this piece is gone, that piece, that piece, that piece, that piece, and we're just going to say that all that's left, we'll say all that's left is this bishop and this. This is what's left for black. This is what's left for white. All these pawns are off the board on this side, and all that's left is here. If we did that, if a white only had pawns on this side of the board, and it was a knight versus a bishop with these pawns, it would be considered a draw. Bishops are only good in endgames where there's pawns on two sides of the board. So if there were pawns on both sides of the board and we got to an endgame knight versus bishop, a bishop would be superior. But if it's a bishop and a knight with pawns on one side of the board, then it's the knight and the bishop counter balance each other, which would make it equal. But if there was at least one pawn on one side of the board and there were the rest of these pawns, we were a bishop versus knight, a bishop would slightly be more superior in that setup. That's true. Oops. Let's get to that part. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now we're at the part. Surprisingly, this is a playable move. But you don't really need to actually play that because that does give your knight a spot to reroute into, since this is a closed position. Yeah, they do. This is kind of a lockdown position. Wow. That's scary. Why did he do that? This was like the worst move I've seen. This move here is like horrible. What I don't understand. This move was bad. You're kidding me. That's actually the move that it wanted. Huh. Okay, let's take a look. I just don't. Sometimes these engines I don't get. But we're learning. The G3 is a threat. Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. You're kind of stuck with playing this because of the bind you're in. Oh no, that's just my clock. I have one of the musical clocks that it separates and then it rotates around like this and then it comes back together. And it has a little song thing that comes with it. One pawn up. That's over now. Once you let the rook in and it starts stepping all over the place, it's like, hello, it's not gonna be fun for sure, huh? Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I will put on some chess for you guys to watch. This is always a good one, 10-minute one. Interesting. I don't know here. Where in this game were you talking about? What move? Was it on here? Let me see. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, this right here. Okay, here. Gotcha. There. What's right here? There. Queen d4. Check. King f1. Actually, he wouldn't be able to go to king to f1. He'd probably go king king h2. We'll keep this game in reserve for us. Actually, let's do this so that we don't. And then I'll come back to the game in just a second. I promised I'd go over this game with you. That's okay. So let's take a lookie. We'll take a look at that game, that point, after it's done. After we're done here. D4. Bishop G7. Knight C3. E6. So so he did the modern line, our modern defense. Okay. Well, Ginger GM or Grandmaster Simon Williams says that players that are at a certain level will actually, if you don't give them any room to play and you just play solid, for some reason they try to go really aggressive and they'll end up actually destroying their own position. So if you ever feel like, man, I can't get an attack, and you're the stronger player, just play solid like what you're doing here as black, and your opponent will eventually overreach, and that's when you attack. Sometimes you can do that. He says he's won many games where a player that's lower level than him, yeah, has actually overextended their position and lost. He's like, I don't understand why they do that either. All they have to do is play solid, but they want to. I think he says they want to defeat him so much that they sometimes push because they think that the higher level players are playing passive, but in reality they're solidifying their positions. and they're waiting for their opponent to make the wrong move. And when they do, then they pounce on that wrong move, and it's basically over from there. Knight e3, 93. Nice, nice, nice. This is getting good. B4. Ooh. Like this is kind of it's a good move, but it's really really overreaching in my opinion. Just slightly. I think potentially maybe best would be trying to set up maybe something like this. I don't know, this very hyper move. Or maybe here, and if you try something like this, then you have that. And he can't take because of course there. So now he's kind of shredded the position a little bit, but huh. Well, the problem, it's not that it's a bad move, it's just wrong timed. Wrong timed. Because it doesn't have any support. Like when you were right, we talked about overextending, yes. You have to build up. And now you'll be the one with the attack. This is, and what he'll try to do is if he plays something like this, you do have to slightly be careful. Actually, he can't because of the queen. So, but I'm just giving you an example. If this was to happen and this move wasn't played, you have to be slightly careful. But yeah, you'd take his queen. So bishop takes, and now you're the one with the attack. It's more. It's the B3 and C4 is more solid. The only reason that your idea is excellent too, Fox, about E1, Queen E1, and then coming in. But you have to play solid when it comes to a certain level. Like when you reach the 2100 and above, it's no longer about how fast you could beat down your opponent, or sorry, beat down the position inside of the game. It's about who's the most solid and who can take their small advantage and build on it. Just keep building and building and building and building and building. And then eventually what happens is, it reminds me of a pressure cooker. Under enough pressure, you could cook something. And also, I remember from I watched a documentary, well, a kind of learning thing with my cousins when they were younger, and it was Dr. Kabe, Dr. Kaboom, and what they did is they heated up the like vapors in a can, and what they did is they heated it with a one of the burners, and they got the can because it was full of water, and when it got really boiling inside, they smashed the can back on top, and then they put it into really cold water, and the can actually when it tried to go back to the normal form and actually squished the paint can that was full of water. It just like crunched it. So that's kind of what happens when if you overextend, and also if you can build up enough and at the right moment, you'll be the one to be able to do that to the other side's position. I always think of that. That was a really cool series, Dr. Kabang, Dr. Kaboom. Rook takes a5. Queen a4. Ooh. So this is yeah, you'd actually take here. Oh boy, you're threatening mate there. Let's gotta check this out here. This is interesting. It's a cute emoji. I'm wondering if knight takes here might not have been a better idea. I'm thinking that takes might not have been a better idea. Because what you're doing at this point is you're still renewing a threat of a back rank potential mate with something like queen here and then in. You do have to worry slightly about that though. Or here. There's rook takes. Yeah, because I'm thinking that knight takes is actually best. Because then you don't lose anything. You have your rooks connected. Even if this queen check, it doesn't really do anything. This queen check doesn't do anything. You just move back. And now you're up so much material. Well, I knew there was something that I was missing here after this move. I knew there was something. I just couldn't. You know how you get that spidey sense? You're still up. You're still up, and you don't have to at this point when you take here. If he plays there, you don't have this takes either. And like what you're saying, your bishop is a beautiful anchor. They're saying that potentially this is an idea here. Oh, okay. Okay, here. 2.2. Let me see. Hold on. Let's give it a second to go online. Okay, a 4.9. So 4.9 for that one. Yikes. Oh, 5. Whoa. Well, it was right then. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Wow. That was a 4.2. Huh. So the rook takes was best. Wow. Who'd have thunk? Yep. Okay. It was a 1.4, I believe. Let me see if. Let's see. Hold on. So that's 9. Where are we at? Hold on. So that's a 4.9. Oh, it's a point 0.7 difference. It's a 0.7 difference, just 1.7. So not much. It's not bad at all. Not bad. Nah. They're both good. You're still winning here because of your material advantage. You're just like you're a whole rook up, and you're able to convert it to glory. Oh, did your opponent run out of time? Oh, I have a question though. Let's say your opponent let's say your opponent played this move. I was just wondering what you would play if bishop b1. What would you play if he played bishop b1 in this line? You're black. I was just wondering. I was just wondering what you would play here, because the opponent went. I just did the computer move, which would be bishop d b5. What would be the move that you would play here? Because then I'll put it in. I was just curious what you think. Ew, that's interesting. What I was thinking is actually rook d8. I was just thinking about taking scope just on this d6 pawn, also attacking there. Yeah, I looked at I had looked at this with the engine before, and I agreed with the engine on this move. I actually looked at the engine, and I thought to myself, why would this move be the best move? Because I thought about this move too when this was played by the engine. I didn't. I thought about something like this. What would be a solid move? E8 was a solid move as well, that we could consider. But best, because what we're doing is we're looking for a threat, and the best threat that the engine saw was taken here. Yeah. That was a very nice move, and the engine I kind of was like, huh. Yeah, I took a gander at the engine, and I did see that it played this, and I was like, huh. And I looked at it, looked at it, and then I was like, huh, this would be a beautiful move, because if he tries something like this, you come up, and if he tries checking, you come down. If he comes there, you just come up, and now this is very solid. So you always have to what Simon Williams says. So I gotta say, I did have a little help with the engine on this, because I wasn't really sure what to play. So I was considering. I was thinking, what would be a good move after here. And so I did look at the engine, and the engine said this, and I wanted to see what you thought about that move, because sometimes we've actually put it, me, Fox, and I think Loki was with us as well. We did an endgame position with the engine, and the engine said that one of these moves over here was a good move, but we played a human move, and the human move actually was better. So I always get ask the player what they were thinking, and then we compare it to what the engine says. But I actually would have played this anyways if I hadn't had an idea. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive book, huh? It's the principles of, he has one in there on target awareness. I think it might be in that one. He's got like 4 books, and you have to be aware of targets. Like when the bishop moves here because you're attacking it, what's a target? There's that target. There's that target. We can't attack the bishop anymore, so we have really 2 targets to look at. And is our king safe? Yes. So we play here, and let's say that he tries to play there. We just take. So there's no way to stop us from winning this. And that's what I was just looking at. And you're good to go. Great job. That was a great game. Good job. Oh, let me see. I gotta check that. Oh, come on. Come on, don't lag him in now. Let's see here. Rook to e8. Let's see. Okay, this is that's a 5.7. 5.5. Hold on. Let's just see. Okay, 5.7. What's this one? Oh, yeah. It's a good move as well. Oh, the same. Hey, nice job. Same exact points count. Same exact. Yeah. That's same. It's a 5.7 and a 5.7. So the engine considers that equal to its idea of rook to d8. So both ideas playable. The only reason I like rook d8 though, the only reason I like rook d8 is it's just more threatening. What is the engine? Okay, he has to play there. Yeah. Probably the bishop takes. Takes. And wham. You got that. You win the pawn. So interesting game for sure. Okay, let's see what we got for some puzzles to go over. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Well, I'm glad that you're reading Reassess Your Chess. That book really helped me with solidifying a lot of my stuff too, and I have to head back to that book too. If you guys want a good endgame book, he's got one on his endgame course too. That's a good one as well. A little pricey, but trust me, for the amount of information you get in it, at least I think it's worth its value. Oh, is this a rook rover? Rook e2 check. King h a1. Rook e2, bishop b2, I'm thinking about playing rook f to e rook f e3, and we'd have a line doubling, because then we can actually pick up ooh. I think we'll probably stop there. Do you have any questions on anything, guys? Let's stop here. Well, because we were just gonna do one. Nope. Okay. Well, guys, one, thank you for logging on. You know what? This is great. We're improving. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to learn and to say the one thing I was wrong on a position. And that's what my teacher said, that you have to be able to do is to know when you made a mistake, then you can fix it. Otherwise, you'll always believe that you don't make mistakes. And I was like, huh, I never thought of it that way. And he was really wise in his teaching. And so I took that to heart. I wanted to share that with you guys. That's why if I like when I'm analyzing somebody's game on allychess.org and I say I was wrong, the reason we do that is so then we can say, huh, why was I wrong? Then you can go back to the position and say, huh, that move was right because of this, therefore now I learned something. But if you're afraid of not making mistakes, then you won't learn. That's what he told me. I was like, huh. And that's also he was the one that told me, and I think we learned it. Krav Maga is a huge one. He was a teacher of that, and he said it really helped him with his chess understanding. That what Krav Maga is it's you use your environment for your ability for playing. So like it's also another one is Aikido. Aikido is very similar to that. You don't ever block. You invite your opponent to come into your position, and therefore you defeat them using their own energy against them. The best example is on Karate Kid when Mr. Miyagi. It was after Daniel's son actually, or Daniel, sorry, Daniel won the tournament, and that one guy was really upset, the coach, at the player, and he was going to hurt the kid, but Mr. Miyagi stepped in and interceded for the kid. He didn't even have to block his punching. He did damage to his own fists via his own anger, and also those I don't want to call them sets of thinking. The best thing to do is never to have to fight. That's what they believe. Fighting is the last resort. So that's why you have to be careful of getting into fights and all that stuff. That's what they did. So I was like, he told me about that. That's the last resort, and that chess applies a lot to that type of stuff. You have to use your environment. Like you have bishops, rooks, bishops, knights, rooks, queens, and of course kings and pawns. I named all this stuff. You have to use them to their max, and so that's why Jeremy Silman says you have to have target clarity, which means you have to be able to find if you have to hide somewhere, like if you're in an alley or something, be aware. Same thing with the chessboard. If there's a pawn that could be double attacked that can't be defended and you can win it, then win it. If you have to be the one to provoke the weakness, sometimes you have to provoke a weakness. Sometimes you have to go all in some categories, in some positions. But remember that always, the Lord is the main importance of our focus as well. So that's why when Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do is also based on that too. It's supposed to be like water, that you use all sets of like martial arts and setups. You're not just narrowed into one thing. So that's why I like Jeremy Silman's books. He teaches you the broad understanding of chess. And Bruce Lee said it the best in this: knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. So willing is not enough. We must go beyond the will and actually do it. There are plateaus. There are no plateaus. I mean, sorry, said that inversely. There are plateaus. There are no limits to the human potential of understanding in chess. So we have the potential to go beyond it. We just have to remember who's the one that gave us the knowledge in the first place and the mind to think, the Lord. So we have to keep that in mind always. Never do one thing in a chess game either. Don't get proud. The game's not over. My teacher told me. Ginger's Grandmaster Simon Williams said it, and all the grandmasters that I've heard. The game's not over until the ones on your side and the handshake is resignation or mate. So never get comfortable until the game's over. And even then, don't get comfortable. Keep pushing for greater and greater things. Well, like what we say about coal under pressure, it becomes a diamond. We're becoming diamonds, and a sword that's sharpened at the moment doesn't like to be sharpened, but trust me, when it's used for defensive purposes and for attacking, it is happy that it got sharpened, but not during the time. It doesn't like that. Because it's having to get all of its things put in the proper straight area so it gets sharp. It's not fun being sharpened on a stone. But in the end, it's beneficial for that blade. Same with us with our understanding. We need to always have our focus set on what's the goal, victory. And sometimes a draw, my teacher told me, is a victory in a position. So don't ever think that a draw is bad. If it's the best in the position, go for it. Don't push beyond if there is nothing. Okay, just be wise in your chess play. I know you guys are. You are wise, my chess friends, because you guys, my chess friends, help me getting better too. So we're all getting better in this. And let me see. Remember when you get high enough in your rating though, and you get your titles, never forget to ever give back. Don't forget to give back. Always remember to give back, because that's how you help chess improve and grow. Okay. And remember what we always say: we hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study. When most won't, we do, and that makes all the difference. So just keep that in mind. It does make all the difference. as Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll keep pushing forward and studying and getting better. Keep up the good work, guys, and you know what? We're doing it. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah! Yeah! Good job. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Be blessed, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.